My name is Ayano Tanaka, and this is my story. As a new history teacher and class advisor, I've garnered a reputation for my stern demeanor, earning me the nickname the Iron Mask from my students. Despite their perceptions, I've remained indifferent, scarcely paying attention to their antics. However, everything changed one day when a student named Murai, the top student in the class, managed to provoke me. In his career path sheet, he boldly stated his intention to marry me in the future. Anger surged within me at his audacity, believing it to be nothing more than a joke. Yet Murai insisted that his feelings were genuine, claiming he had never trifled with his life and truly harbored affection for me. I swiftly rejected him, tearing up his career sheet in frustration. Little did I anticipate the turn of events that would follow. However, at home, I lead a secret life as an otaku, deeply immersed in the world of 2D game characters, especially my favorite, Hodo. Murai, determined to win my affections, confided in his friends and decided to change his appearance drastically. The next day, he appeared with short blonde hair, bearing an uncanny resemblance to Hodo. I was completely taken aback, feeling as though my favorite character had come to life before me. Despite my attempts to maintain focus during class, I found myself distracted by Murai's presence. He kindly offered his assistance with the lesson, and though I tried to resist, I couldn't help but be captivated by his resemblance to Hodo. As the class ended, I hurriedly dismissed them, my mind still reeling from the unexpected turn of events. Despite my efforts to avoid him, Murai's likeness to my idol lingered in my thoughts, conflicting with my role as a strong-willed unfortunately. The more I tried to distance myself, the more Murai pursued me. My once peaceful school life now felt burdensome as we coincidentally ran into each other as regular customers at a public bathhouse. Despite my efforts, Murai continued to approach me, probing about my relationship status. I feared that my secret might be exposed if I dared to meet his gaze. Without explanation, I made a hasty exit, but Murai later found me lost in thought on the school rooftop. It was then that I confessed to him how I had always admired his intelligence and academic prowess. Therefore, I believed it wasn't right for Murai to sacrifice his future for feelings toward an ordinary teacher. But Murai persisted, expressing his genuine desire to be with me. His unwavering feelings unsettled me, as I doubted the certainty of promises about the future. I cautioned him against making commitments, knowing how easily feelings could change. Despite my reservations, Murai remained resolute, believing there was still a chance I might reciprocate his feelings. His determination to pursue me felt like he was chasing the essence of his own existence. Meanwhile, Murai's new appearance drew the attention of two other female students, Yuka and her friend Homi, who noticed his resemblance to a character from our favorite game, Love Roll Ninja. Murai's discovery about the character I admired led him to delve into the game, while I found solace in playing it, where I could be someone entirely different from my school self. The next day, Yuka and Homi approached Murai with a plan. They suggested he dress up as Hodo Tessei at a festival event and pay the game rental fee, aiming to attract more fans with his resemblance to the character. Unbeknownst to them, I also attended the event in disguise to collect rare Hodo merchandise. However, seeing Murai role-playing as Hodo, I felt shocked and believed he was mocking me for being an otaku. Murai, unaware of my presence, had only recently learned about the game. He sought me out to clarify, explaining he had started studying the character so I would notice him. While I was happy about his feelings for me, I couldn't reciprocate due to our roles as teacher and student, and my feelings for the character Hodo Tessei. The next day, my life at school returned to its usual routine. While still maintaining a cold demeanor, I no longer avoided Murai. After school, Murai was approached by a girl named Fukunaga from another school, who turned out to be his childhood friend. Impressed by Murai's changed appearance, Fukunaga recalled the Murai of the past and admired his loyalty and kindness. She took a liking to him and invited him to a summer festival event. At the festival, I couldn't help but notice Fukunaga's beauty and wondered why Murai would overlook such a girl for someone like me, a stern teacher. Coincidentally, the teachers, including myself, were patrolling the event. When I stumbled upon Murai and Fukunaga holding hands, I couldn't bear it and fled, unable to accept Murai with another girl, still seeing him as my real-life idol character. Mirai followed me and clarified that Fukunaga was just a friend. Feeling desperate, I immersed myself in the love role ninja game and instantly fell for the character Hodo. Later, Mirai surprised me with a mask to conceal my identity during an evening together watching fireworks. I apologized for my occasional rudeness, but Mirai insisted on forgiveness only if I gave him 3 seconds. As I began to count, Mirai hugged me tightly, expressing his lingering affection. However, our moment was interrupted by a man named Masao, who hugged me from behind. Unbeknownst to Mirai, he was my elder brother and a martial artist. Masao, mistaking Mirai for my boyfriend, challenged him to a duel, which Mirai accepted to get closer to me. Confused by Mirai's actions, I confronted him on the school rooftop the next day. Mirai explained that he wanted to feel my cheek, inspired by Masao's actions. Angered by the comparison, I forbade Mirai from continuing his training. Fukunaga, witnessing our exchange, learned about Mirai's feelings for me. Believing my actions to be disrespectful, Fukunaga accused me of enjoying being pursued and being afraid to make decisions. Her words deeply hurt me, challenging my sense of self-worth and independence. I told Mirai that if he won against Masao, he could fulfill his desire to eat my cheek. After I left, Fukunaga confessed that she had always seen Mirai as her prince and had worked hard to maintain their relationship for 10 years. However, Mirai's heart now belonged to someone else. Later, Mirai accidentally stumbled upon Fukunaga crying and tried to console her, unknowingly echoing gestures of kindness from their childhood. The following day at the school's cultural festival, I registered Masao for a martial arts tournament, given his status as an alumnus and former champion of the school. The martial arts tournament became a real showdown between Masao and Mirai, with me reminding Mirai that losing meant he had to fully surrender to me. As all the students gathered to watch, including Fukunaga and me, it was evident that Masao initially had the upper hand in strength. However, Mirai refused to give up, fighting for his dream. With a clever maneuver, he outsmarted Masao, leading to his defeat. Mirai then reminded me of my promise, but our conversation was interrupted by Masao, who revealed he was getting married soon. He assured me that there was someone who would take care of me in his place. This realization made Mirai reconsider his victory, feeling indebted to Masao's goodwill. Shortly after, a teacher named Yoshi grew suspicious of Mirai's relationship with me. I explained to Mirai the consequences of a romantic relationship between a teacher and a student, highlighting that he would be protected as a minor student, but as a teacher, I wouldn't be. Since that day, Mirai stopped approaching me and I realized our unusual life together, spanning over half a year, had returned to normal. With the help of our friends, they tried to dispel Yoshi's suspicions about our relationship. Fukunaga even pretended to be Mirai's girlfriend to protect him. Every time Mirai and I crossed paths, he avoided me, knowing Yoshi was watching. Yoshi had advised us to be careful with our choices regarding romantic relationships, but I misunderstood, thinking he was forbidding me from liking fictional characters. Inadvertently, I revealed my otaku tendencies, causing further confusion. Meanwhile, Mirai distanced himself from me as Yoshi grew closer. Eventually, during our winter camp preparations, Yoshi accompanied us, and while collecting wild vegetables, Mirai asked what made me like the character Hoto. I explained it was his gaze, and shared my past experiences of ostracism and finding friendship in high school and college. I saw Hoto to say, and it reminded me of the gaze of an elementary school friend. Unexpectedly, Mirai hugged me, questioning our relationship. Before I could respond, Yoshi found us and asked us to return later. That evening, Yoshi inquired about my reason for becoming a teacher, which I revealed was to fulfill my late mother's dream. Mirai approached me afterward, declaring that his life would be meaningless without a place in my future, unable to give up his feelings for me. In a surprising gesture, he kissed my cheek. Unfortunately, the vice principal accidentally took a photo of us, leading to a meeting with the principal. Prepared to accept responsibility, Mirai admitted his mistake, but Yoshi intervened, claiming it was part of a student punishment game, not a romantic relationship. Yoshi even went as far as wearing a ring to signify engagement to me, clearing both Mirai and me of accusations. 2 weeks later, Mirai hadn't returned to school, leaving me anxious. Determined to allow Mirai to return to his previous life, I intended to resign. While contemplating on the school rooftop, Yuka and Hitoi delivered a message that Mirai was waiting for me in the music room. Unexpectedly, Mirai and his friends prepared to sing a song for me, which turned out to be one I had composed during my high school days. The lyrics expressed my feelings of abandonment by my deceased mother and the criminality of my father, feeling like I had no place to belong. However, I recalled meeting an elementary school student who wanted to be my friend, realizing later that it was Mirai. Mirai explained that line resonated with him, and he matured enough to hope I would become his girlfriend someday. Mirai's support saved me from despair, leading me to develop an affection for him. Despite Mirai's absence from school, he practiced with the band to make me remember him. Although he was still a high school student, I decided to continue teaching at the school, waiting for him to graduate and mature into someone ready to be my boyfriend.